Free to play. Let's talk about it. There's a lot that you can do in this game that is very, very free to play accessible. For example, you can go in here and you can farm some orcs. Pretty competent ones. You go to find. Boom. It's on a node. You can do that with, I think, all of the Isenguards. You can farm pretty easily the core foundational Rohan team, which is Lady Eowyn, Eomer, Eothane, and then you can pair them with Strider, who is free to play. Obviously, you get him at the start. Same thing with Frodo, but I would remove Frodo. I would farm up Pippin in that case. You can also swap them out for a big character. Go that route. Ideally, you wouldn't have either of those. You would have Halbrad, but he is, unfortunately, as of now, pay to play. You can work on farming your hobbits. You can farm a lot of these people. This is the hard Azhok. He's the hardest one of the Isengard to get, and he's still farmable. Now, that's a pretty decent shadow team, honestly. So there's two competent teams, and the Rohan team is my personal favorite. As you'll see if you watch the pay-to-play version of this video, they are by far my favorite route to go. Goblins, you can get, I believe you can go goblins without being pay-to-play, I think. Yeah, I'm pretty sure you can. But before I say that for sure, he's bought in the supply shop. Yeah, you can buy him with arena currency. Don't buy those chests. It's 600. It's up from 450 from the beta. Don't buy it. He's farmable node 2, or guild 2-1. So yeah, the only one who's really not farmable, I think, is Great Goblin. Yeah. But goblins are so-so, but you can still get them. And the only reason I have Great Goblin shards is because I guess I have to summon them, is from daily allowance or daily login. But yeah, he's not farmable as of yet. So there are teams that you can farm, and you can make competent teams out of a mixture of these people. But as a free-to-play player, what are you most interested in is the first thing you have to ask yourself, because as a free-to-play player, everything is spread even thinner than it would otherwise be. Your gold is spread thin across the board, but especially for free-to-play players, you're not going to be buying packs that have like 25,000 gold in them. You're not going to be doing anything like that. You're not going to have so many gems that you can sit here. And the best way that I've found to farm gold is to just get as high up in the guild campaign as you can. I haven't really done it with this account yet. Just get high up and then start running autos. I think starting in 3 was 4. Yeah, starting in 3, you get almost 1,000 gold per attempt. Had to minimize it because of a bug. So that's really the only way. I normally recommend, if you have the gems to spare, do a refresh on guild energy, but definitely do your 350 gem refreshes on campaign energy. What you need to do as a free-to-play account is focus heavily on getting these done. Focus heavily on making sure that you have a team to do your challenges. And then maybe start working on a team to do adventures. This is the last thing, well, second to last thing you should worry about as a free-to-play player. The last thing is arena. Now, it sucks because right now, arena is the only thing that you can do in this game outside of grind campaign and level up characters and get through your quests and stuff like that. But if we're honest, all the quests are just do these, get rewards. Do these, get rewards. Do these, get rewards. It's great. They need more of these. I've tapped, I think, all of those out, and it is hurting me on my other account. But if you're going into it thinking you're going to be like, I'm going to be an arena champion as a free-to-play account, I hope you are. I really hope you are. However, realistically, you're probably never going to be up here, unfortunately. If you ever get there, let me know. I'd love to see it. So say you're gold, right? This account isn't because I haven't really focused on arena yet, but say you're gold 1, right? And I've got some guildmates who are in myth, who are, well, are they in myth? I don't know. They're right on the border though, if they're not. Once this game drops in 2 days on May 10th, expect all the whales to come out. Expect all the content creators who do this for a living, not people like me who it's a little passion project. And yes, I've spent some money. And yes, to some people it's a lot of money, $280 or whatever it is. That's a lot of money. Especially for a mobile game. This is the first game I've ever spent money on it, but I'll talk more about that in my pay to play. But anyway, all of those people are going to come out of the woodwork. The, $2,000 a year spenders, or even much higher than that. Because my prediction is this store on May 10th, after the game goes live, is going to be filled to the brim. To the brim with chests and packs and all that. So unless you're willing to drop, look at this one, right? $30 you get these. Okay, well, to put this into perspective, 50 doesn't get you very far. If you go in here, and this is a low level character, let me see if we have one that's really good. Really good. Well, this is probably about as good as we're gonna get, unfortunately. So to get one of these chainmail, you need all of these. To get 2 of these, remember you need 2 of them, you need 8 shards of this thing to get 2, and it goes up. This in my other account I think is 3. You start needing 3, and then I would imagine maybe even 4. So you start multiplying these 2 out. You need 8 of those crystals. You go back to that pack, you got 42 left after you upgrade 1 piece, and that guy needs, well, let's see how many he needs. He needs I think he needs 1 up here. Yep, he needs 8 there. 8 there, so we're up to 16. 8 there, so we're up to 24. Only 4 here? 4 there, so that's what, 28? Oh, here we go. Another, all right, so that's 32. 36. 36, 4, so that's 44. He needs a total of 44. That gives you 6 left after you just spent $30 to essentially buy them, and it doesn't give you enough gold to level it up. Don't think, as a free-to-play player, and I mean this in the best possible way, don't think that you're going to be able to honestly break, after the game launches, honestly break top, certainly 50, maybe even top 100 without putting a little bit of money into it, because they're essentially charging you $30 to level this guy up. All these other things are super easy to get. These are the hard ones, but they're essentially charging you that much, and you're still going to be lacking on gold in order to do it, because each one of these pieces costs 16,000. So you got 16,000 times 6. What is that? That's almost 100k to level this one up. Like, that's crazy. And it's 340, so it may actually be 100,000. So unless you're spending a little bit of money, get arena out of your head. What I would do, get into a guild, a like-minded guild who's about the raid, who's about, longevity and collecting characters and stuff like that. Make sure you've got a couple of teams to do your shadow and your light campaign. Make sure you're getting through your guild campaign. Make sure you're doing your challenges and keeping up with the different adventures that come out. And then once the raid drops, then hopefully you'll have a couple of decent enough teams that when your team or your guild come together, they can get through it. But don't focus on arena. is what I'm trying to say. Don't focus on arena. Don't spend your gold on anything that is not imperative, that may change after launch. I hope it does. It needs to. Otherwise, this game will fail. The gold economy is awful. Just make sure you're doing these. Make sure you're doing your objectives every day. Be a good guildmate and just keep your teams rolling, and don't focus on arena so much. Certainly try to get into a decent spot, but don't beat yourself up if you're not in the top 100 or top 500 even. As a free-to-play player, because unfortunately, while some will make it, those are going to be the people who can put a ton of time into it. So at any rate, this video's gone on long enough. Moral of the story, don't give them money if you can avoid it. You're going to have a much more rewarding time when you finally do unlock these pinnacle characters and these teams, and you start, you know, to do better in the raids and stuff. You're going to do better. You're going to feel better. And then they're going to come out with, I'm sure, some form of grand arena, and you're going to have all these teams, and you're going to do great. But right now, there's no real farming guide that you can put out because it's just not. And there's no sense in paying money if you're not going, if you don't want to, don't feel like you have to. So, at any rate, see ya.